Di ba that video was shown in Cambodia? Correct?
It was
Yung sa UNWTO? Hindi
It
ba
was-
siya pinalabas? So,
No,
saan
Madam
galing
Chair.
yung statement nung Indonesian tourism officer na parang when he was watching it in Cambodia, parang nasabi niya, that rice fields, parang sa Indonesia yan ah. And then true enough, nung pumutok na nga, sabi niya parang na-validate yung suspetsya niya nung pinapanood niya yung video. Tapos, in fact, may statement pa siya na nagpapasalamat siya na we are promoting Indonesia. Are you not aware of that statement of the ano ba yan? Indonesian tourism minister?
To clarify, Madam Chair, the UNWTO the UNWTO conference which I attended happened prior to the launch of the video in question, and the video that was shown during the dinner hosted by the Philippine government in UNWTO was a video that was made in-house and did not use any of the footages that were used in the video launched to
Yeah,
support
so
the
how
tourism
come he made that
branding.
statement na the rice paddies that he saw during that event was the same rice paddies that was shown during your launch? How did that happen? Saan niya kinuha yung ganong impression?
Yes, the statement was made on July 4. The statement made by the
Yeah,
Tourism Minister of Indonesia.
Yeah, his statement was when he was attending the Cambodia event, he already was parang telling himself, parang that rice paddy looked familiar. It looked like Indonesia. Tapos parang sabi niya, no, parang next statement niya was parang mukhang hindi naman, or baka hindi naman kasi sa Philippines, baka pareho lang. And then pumutok na nga yung nangyari dun sa launch, and then he issued that statement na parang totoo naman pala yung ano ba yan, yung haka-haka niya na it was indeed in Indonesia. In fact, yung huling statement niya was parang hindi naman siya na-offend na ginamit ng Philippines yung photo ng Indonesia. In fact, ang statement niya was, we should thank the Philippines because they promoted Indonesia.
We categorically deny showing the video in
hindi niyo
question
nabasa
during
yung
the
ganong-
UNWTO
Hindi niyo
dinner,
nabasa
Madam
yung
Chair.
ganong statement nung tourism officer of, tourism minister of Indonesia. Kalat na kalat siya sa social media.
It was brought to our attention, Madam Chair, and he did in fact attend the dinner hosted by the Philippine government, and the video that was shown there was made in-house, sourcing...
Wait, so your in-house used photos from Bali?
No, Madam Chair, we deny showing any photos using images of Bali during the dinner
Hindi nga.
hosted
So
by the
parang
Philippine government.
how come saan nanggaling yung ganong statement that when he was attending that event, he saw the same I think we're talking about the same photo.
I cannot speak
Na-
to that, Madam Chair, but what I am aware of is that he did attend the dinner, and that the video that we showed was a video that
And
we
you've
made
never
in-house.
made an effort to correct the statement? Kasi, I mean, parang for me, mas nakakahiya yung statement ni tourism minister na nagpapasalamat pa siya na ginamit natin yung pictures nila na nakita niya during the Cambodia event. Was there, and you knew he had that statement. Was there an effort on your part to correct his statement? And for him to correct himself?
Yes. Madam Chair, through diplomatic channels, we did indeed reach out to the Ministry of Indonesia pertaining to his statement.
And what was their feedback? What was the feedback? Kasi parang
So far, there has been no effort to clarify.
Iniinsulto nila tayo, di ba? Parang ganun yung dating.
Madam Chair, we have not yet received.
You wrote, you told, you asked, there was a, did you write the DFA to write, hindi ko alam, diplomatic protest ba yan? Or to call out the attention of the Indonesian ambassador? Or was there that type of effort?
There was an effort to reach out to the
You
ministry.
wrote the DFA for them to reach out?
I'll yield to ASEC Verna Suceso for this, Madam Chair.
Madam Chair, in relation to the statement, actually we reached out to our counterpart in the Ministry of Tourism and Creative Ministry of the of Indonesia, just to advise them that what we had showed in the dinner that was hosted by the Philippines in Cambodia was actually an in-house production and was certainly not about the video and the ad in question, Madam Chair. That's all.
Was the response? I think, if you're standing by that statement, he should apologize to us.
Well, Secretary, it was just noted by the Vice Minister, and it was advised that it will be communicated. That's all.
Would be what?
Communicated.
Hindi nga, pero wala bang effort on our part to get an apology dun sa tourism minister na yon? Kasi he's lying based on your statements.
Madam Chair, since we're talking about the video that was shown during the dinner, the purpose of the dinner was actually to introduce Cebu as the host for the Joint Commission meetings for UNWTO next year. And therefore, the subject of the video that was shown were actually sceneries in Cebu, which definitely did not include the
Hindi, kaya ng
terraces.
secretary you should demand an apology dun sa tourism minister na yon. Because it was carried out by different newspapers and different media outlets. Tapos he was lying, I mean, based on your statements, na you've never shown that video in question during the launch was not shown in Cambodia. So anong rice paddies yung pinagsasabi niya na while he was watching during the event dun sa UNWTO, na isip na niya na rice paddies yun ng Indonesia. May rice paddies ba dun sa video na ginawa niyo about Cebu?
No, Madam Chair.
If there was none, so saan kinuha ni Indonesian Tourism Minister yung statement niya na there was?
We really cannot speak to the mind of the Indonesian tourism minister, but
we can demand an apology because he was lying to us. Sinisira na yung tourism campaign. Diba?
We have already communicated to the Ministry of Indonesia our concerns, Madam Chair, and as
Have you reached out? Do you know the Indonesian ambassador?
yes,
Courtesy call. Have
we were
you
just
made an
together,
effort
Madam
on
Chair.
your part? Yung backdoor policy, backdoor communication na parang Your Excellency, bakit naman ganun yung tourism minister nyo? Wala namang ganung video na pinalabas sa Cambodia. Was there an effort on your part?
Yes. Madam Chair, subsequent to communicating our position and our concerns to the ministry, the focus that the Department of Tourism has
Yeah,
chosen...
but on your part, Secretary, did you make that effort to reach out to the Indonesian ambassador and tell him, parang mali naman ata yun, why issue that statement when there was no such thing, there was no photo during that event of rice paddies?
Following the diplomatic channels, Madam Chair, I did direct that the Department
No,
of
but
Tourism
on your
manifest.
end. On your end.
Yes,
as,
myself. I directed
No.
that,
Did you talk to the Indonesian ambassador?
I have not had the chance to speak to him personally, Madam
But
Chair.
you've met him. I mean, you
Yes.
know him.
Yes,
Yeah.
I
And
have.
parang there was no, kasi di ba usually in sa mga mga ano yan, diplomat, mga ganyan. There's always that backdoor channel that we can use, diba? Aside from yung formal. Was there an effort na through backdoor channel? Kasi, I mean, you're always together sa mga UNWTO and other international events. So, was there parang an effort? Pero kilala mo naman tong si tourism minister.
I have met him in the international events, Madam Chair, and the last
After
time...
that event, did you see him again? O
No.
hindi pa kayo nagkikita?
Not yet.
Oo. So walang ganong on your end personally, kasi like for example kunyari I'm friend or parang kakilala ko naman si usually nagbibigay sila ng calling card for para mas direct yung communication with each other. Walang ganong effort on your part to clear things and then for that tourism minister to retract his statement, or even on your part I've never ako nakakita ng press statement on your end denying or saying na hindi totoo yung sinasabi ni Indonesian tourism minister. Was there an PR effort on your end to deny his statements?
Madam Chair, the focus of the Department of Tourism subsequent to the video showed by the DDB was to ensure that...
No. I'm talking about itong kasi kumalat yung statement ni ni Indonesian tourism minister when you said you read his statement, right?
Yes, Madam Chair.
Was there an effort on your PR team to issue a PR statement categorical and saying na during that event in Cambodia, there was no such video na may rice paddies, which means na hindi mo alam kung saan kinuha ni Indonesian Tourism Minister yung statement niya saying that while he was watching that the video na Indonesia yung pinapakita. Was there a PR effort on the part of DOT?
To publicly rebuke the Minister of Tourism of
Yes.
Indonesia, which is our partner in the ASEAN, Madam Chair.
Why not?
The focus of the Department of Tourism at the time, subsequent to the
pero-
DOT, if
But
I may,
remember,
Madam Chair,
parang bahagi yun nung di ba? Parang nagpatong-patong na yung negative publicity for the new branding campaign. Parang for me naging bahagi itong si tourism minister dun sa and very, very, for me, very damaging yung naging statement niya kasi hindi naman siya ordinary Indonesian. He's the Indonesian tourism minister.
Madam Chair, subsequent to us communicating our concerns regarding the said statement to the Ministry of Tourism and Creative Economy of Indonesia, our focus then was to ensure that we safeguard government funds and immediately terminate the contract pertaining to the contracted agency, as well as to exact a forfeiture of their performance bond and to cease any and all relations with the said agency. Further
So tomorrow,
to that,
can you issue a statement denying the statement of the Indonesian Prime Minister?
first of all, Madam Chair, my understanding is that the Philippines exercises a foreign policy of being a friend to all and an enemy to none.
He's not our friend. The mere fact that he's lying. I mean, I'm talking about the tourism minister, hindi yung Indonesian country. Kasi sinabi niya naman, no such photo was placed during that event. So, I don't see any reason why you can't issue a statement tomorrow saying that he was not telling the truth when he said that during the UNWTO, a photo of Bali was used during the presentation. Or, di pala Bali, parang rice paddies in Indonesia. You issue that PR statement tomorrow?
Madam Chair, I completely understand your position, but the Department of Tourism does not operate in isolation, and it operates within the Executive Department, which has an existing foreign policy that is composed of a host of concerns, not only tourism. Nevertheless,
But,
I
you know, it
understand.
creates the perception that he's telling the truth because we're not denying it.
Madam
Formally.
Chair, nevertheless, recognizing your concerns, we will immediately after this meeting reach out to the Department of Foreign Affairs as well as to the Executive Department to seek their advice regarding your request that we issue a press release on this matter.
Yeah, before the plenary session siguro, we would also consult with the DFA moving forward on how we can rectify the damage that the tourism minister did to our branding campaign.
Thank
Di
you,
ba
Madam Chair.
siniraan niya tayo? Don't you agree, Secretary?
As far as the statement that claimed that we showed the video on Love the Philippines in the UNWTO,
Bakit? Doon ba sa UNWTO may Love the Philippines na?
wala pa, Madam Chair.
Kaya nga, so bakit, why you said na Love the Philippines when
No,
during
I
the
said-
UNWTO there was
Yes,
no...
I said, as far as his statement,
No, he
saying-
never said the Love the Philippines video. He just said his statement was the video that he saw in Cambodia. When he was watching the video in Cambodia, he thought na, oh, that rice paddies parang looks familiar. It looks like it's in Indonesia. He never mentioned any Love the Philippines video.
my understanding and reading of the article published in the Jakarta Globe, where he was originally quoted, Madam Chair, was he had pertained to the video, quote unquote, launched on June 27, and saying that he recalls watching the video, quote unquote, Love the Philippines during a recent event in Cambodia. So that's what I'm pertaining to.
Yeah, bakit niya nasabi din na Love the Philippines when there's no... When you showed ba the video, may nakasulat na Love the Philippines?
I did not, but I surmise that this interview was conducted subsequent to the launch of the actual Love the Philippines video, which was on June 27, because the article was written in July 4. So he was asked about the Love the Philippines video on July 4, which prompted him to issue
So
this
parang
statement.
he got that impression. So parang, kaya nga, for him, the Love the Philippines video that was shown during the 50th anniversary was the same video that was shown in Cambodia. I mean, from his statement, parang magiging ganun yung conclusion.
I really cannot speak for the tourism minister, Madam Chair. All I can say is that during the UNWTO dinner that the Philippine government
Yun na nga
hosted,
Parang-
the video pertained
so parang
to
ngayon,
Cebu.
nagtataka ko kung saan hinugot ni tourism minister yung sinasabi niya na it was the same. When you're telling me now na during the dinner, walang rice paddies dun sa pinresent niyang video. Ba? So talagang he's lying. Correct?
Which is why we already transmitted our concerns to the Ministry of Tourism, Madam
Pero
Chair.
there was no formal letter on your part. Ano yan? To Secretary Manalo saying the sequence of events and the statement. Was there a written letter from you to Secretary Manalo?
No letter from me to Secretary Manalo, Madam Chair. But,
Why not? To make it formal. Hindi ba dapat may formal correspondence?
Yes.
Kasi
Indonesia is-
bakit naman gagalaw si Secretary Manalo when there's no written request on your part to call out Indonesia? So bakit gagalaw si DFA?
With all due respect, Madam Chair, I think that we find ourselves in the unique situation of existing within the realm of the ASEAN, which promotes the concept of centrality, goodwill, and good relations among our fellow tourism nations, which is exactly why instead of taking a mode of attack as our approach in response to the statement, we communicated to the ministry to express our concern.
Written communication.
Assistant Secretary Verna Bansusaso actually called.
No,
the
written. Was
Vice
there
Minister.
ever a written communication to formalize everything?
No written communication, Madam Chair.
So wala tayong there's no written, there's no document stating na nagrereklamo tayo at the moment. Correct? None?
None at the moment, Madam Chair.
I suggest na Secretary, you write Secretary Manalo, tell him na ganito yung reklamo, na ganito yung ginawa ni Indonesian Tourism Minister. Kasi for me hindi natin pwede ito palagpasin. I mean, this is our branding campaign. Parang hindi pwede. Kasi if we don't do anything, yung statement niya is the truth and not your truth. Correct? That his statement would be fact and not a lie if you don't do anything formally. Written, Kasi if you want to do the diplomatic channel and formal channel, parang hindi pwedeng hindi ka susulat kay Secretary Manalo, and then si Secretary Manalo would, I would assume, would write his counterpart and get a response. And I mean, that is the process. But the mere fact that we hindi tayo sumulat or there was no parang formal and legal channel na ginawa ang DOT to correct that statement.
Madam Chair, the totality of the article, from my understanding, was actually subsequent to this statement in question to express support for the country. But I note your concerns, and as already committed.
Do you think that is a support to our country, his statement? Saying that that Indonesia should thank the Philippines for promoting them kasi we use their stock photo?
Madam Chair, I'm not here to defend the Minister of Indonesia, but, my understanding.
But you're here to defend our country. Parang,
Absolutely, Madam
I suggest,
Yes.
by tomorrow, write Secretary Manalo a letter. Siguro dun sa content ng letter na yon, sinasabi na yung Indonesian counterpart natin should correct himself because to begin with, there was no such video played during the UNWTO event. So, kumbaga parang walang basis yung statement ni Tourism Minister to say that we used their stock photo during the UNWTO event. Can I get that commitment?
Madam Chair, am I to understand that you would like the Philippines to file a diplomatic protest against Indonesia?
Not really a diplomatic protest, but communication through our DFA secretary na may ginawang pagkakamali naman yung tourism minister nila. Do you think na walang naging negative impact on our tourism branding yung statement ni Indonesian tourism minister? You think there was no negative impact?
As far as our numbers would show, none that we are aware, Madam Chair, considering
Yeah,
that
pero
we are
hindi
now.
mo naman talaga mako-compete yun dun sa, if you just, magiging, if ang basis lang is the tourism arrivals. Diba? Parang tinapakan niya yung bansa natin and we won't do anything. Parang hindi naman ata katanggap-tanggap yun.
Madam Chair, as mentioned earlier, since we have already communicated with the Ministry of Tourism. We
You've
will
never,
subsequently.
I'm sorry, Secretary, there was no communication on your end. It was just a phone call. That's not a formal communication to show, ano yan, masyado naman natang, yung, to show our displeasure for those statements.
Madam Chair, as I mentioned, I think my statements are already on record that we communicated, but per your behest, Madam Chair, we will consult with the DFA as well as the Executive Department.
You have to write Secretary Manalo. Kasi parang nababanggit mo nga, you want to do it formally and the proper channels. I think the proper channel is for you to write Secretary Manalo detailing the events that transpired during the UNWTO and then stating that there's no basis for the for the Tourism Minister of Indonesia to issue those statements na while he was watching that video, nakita niya yung same rice paddies that was used dun sa stock photo during your event. Can you CC me with your letter?
Your request is noted, Madam Chair.
Okay, can you provide the committee a copy of your letter to Secretary Manalo? Ano ba yan? Parang requesting for correction or ano bang on the part of the Indonesian Tourism Minister because no such thing happened during the UNWTO.
We will word the letter to state the fact, Madam Chair, that no such video was shown during the UNWTO
And then
dinner.
there's no basis for his statement that during the UNWTO promotional video na yung rice paddies, there was no rice paddies to begin with during the presentation. Correct?
Yes, the video was about Cebu, Madam Chair.
Sige.